Hello, everybody. Scott Golden with the Golden Opportunities Coaching and Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channels here. We are into the All Star Wrestling Review Series pretty deeply now. At this point, we've got about 100 of these, maybe a little less. Anyway, across several years, and this is the November 29th, 1980 edition of same. We're going to be moving into 1981. They've got 50 of the 52 or 53 week episodes available in that vein. And also going to finish off 1980. I think there's about 6 in 82. Would love to see them put up 83 through 85. I've never actually seen those in full run, as I didn't become a fan till 89. Try to consume as much old content up until about 1998 as possible. 98 for me is when National Wrestling began to die, but a lot of people believe differently, obviously, in that vein. But that's what my deal is there. Anyway, this is the November 19 or November 29th, 1980 edition of the program, and we continue to move forward in that vein. Some highlights there, and hosted by Vince McMahon, Pat Patterson, include highlights of the world champion Bob Backlund, Spiros Arion from 626-78 match. I don't know why they go back there. Also includes Tony Atlas, BB Coleman from 10 to 79 from Championship Wrestling. Again, to me, it just means they either lost footage or didn't tape enough footage or something. Something didn't come out according to plan when these types of things happen. At least that's always been my run. Of course, highlighting Backlund, probably not a bad idea, and maybe even having a permission slip from Madison Square Garden to be able to air footage. I don't know what the contract is about at the time, but the Madison Square Garden thing, I think, started running 75, 76, so maybe permission was needed to air it on television in that way. Highlights of a Spiros Arion match, which I believe is available elsewhere on the network. I'm actually looking forward to doing the house shows, the Madison Square Garden, Boston Garden, Philly Spectrum. I literally could have 20 or 30,000 pieces of content for you before my body gives out, hopefully, in the next few years. So that's what they're saying. But anyhow, we'll do what we can while we're here, right? Anyway, and so arm bars, short arm scissors by Backlund. Backlund holds on to Spiros Arion pretty aggressively, assertively during that process, and uh, you know hits the uh, um, single leg there, and almost like a spinning toe hold attempted figure four. Doesn't really get all he wants on Arion, but Backlund certainly known for using holds. Backlund coming out of Florida with Eddie Graham and knowing how to, um, you know, make the most out of holds. Also being trained or at least brought into wrestling knowledge by Terry Funk and the Funk family, Dory Funk Jr. and Sr. Arion, of course, managed by Classy Freddie Blassie at the time. A lot of punch kick from Arion at the time. Arion, of course, turning on, I believe it was High Chief Peter Maivia at the time in 70, 78 or so. Anyway, lots of punch kick, and as we see that, Arion manages to be a guy who I think hung out for another year, maybe two at most. Anyway, big atomic drop by Bob Backlund. The atomic drop being a finishing hold at the time is also kind of interesting, and Backlund gets the victory there. They show about 10 minutes of the match in total. Then we move to the next in the series of matches, which happens to be I believe, tag team match here. Um, and of course, the tag team champions Tony Garea with Rick Martel defeating Jose Estrada. 742 is a small package after the bout. Patterson interviews Garea ringside. Of course, they're kind of talking about the reemergence of Rick Martel as tag team champion and Garea as a multi-time tag team champion. Garea, of course, being a enhancement or a enhancement guy later. But before we get there, Moondogs are in a tag match here. Of course, they Moondogs, relatively newcomers to the area. Captain Lou Albano leading the Moondogs in, and a lot of punch kick there, a lot of basic stuff. Nothing that really is worth writing home about. Also, just basically aggressiveness from the Moondogs. Moondogs trying to get as much punch kick on Steve King and his tag team partner as possible. They're basically doing the old Savage, and not Randy Savage, but Savage beings, uncivilized beings, deal there. Gets the punch kick, dog bones along the way, and the Moondogs are the new team for Bruno Sammartino. Of course, there's talk about Gurria and Martel being the new tag team champions. This causes Lou Albano to want to walk away from the interview entirely, and he is not happy with that. Obviously, not happy with the names of the champions or the identities of the champions, whatever have you. Um, Not exactly something worth losing sleep over writing home about, but again, there's Tony Gurria. He comes in and is in his enhancement style match there. Not necessarily sure why he is in a singles match being a tag team champion. Maybe just to get TV time filled or whatever have you. Amazing to me that all the way back in 1980, so 40 years ago, wrestling didn't know how to fill time, at least in some territories. Gurria works on the arm bar for several minutes. The heel adversary takes him down, does a lot of punch kick, also tries to choke him out a little bit. Turns into a bit of a brawl here. Not exactly a full-on brawl, but a minor one. And Gurria takes a couple of hard shots, harder than he intends to take anyway in the beginning here. And that turns into a bit more chaos than is expected. Eventually, Gurria gets the small package and again talks post-match about his alignment with Rick Martel and the people of Australia liking him and New Zealand liking him and them having teamed before but coming together as a bigger team. Fred Blassie here in the presentation of Killer Khan. Khan, of course, a guy that they're getting ready for his major run with Andre. Andre falling and breaking his ankle in 81 at some point, and that causes Khan to get the benefit of taking that on as the reason behind it. Khan, of course, hitting the top rope maneuvers and getting things going in that direction as well. Khan hits that top rope knee drop, getting a victory along the way, and ultimately leading to a victory for himself. The Tony Atlas match, as mentioned, lots of punch kick. Atlas gets a body slam and a press slam and a victory there. I don't know necessarily, maybe they're trying to get Tony Atlas over at another level or something of that general nature, but the match seems out of place, just filling time. Anyway, we'll be back with more right after this.